Welcome to the third pre-recorded First Thursday storytelling. Normally, we'd be up at Eclipse Chocolate Bar and Bistro, hoisting up our favorite drink. Here I'll have some tea. So good. Well, please continue to support the fine people at Eclipse. They're open and you can order meals to go. Some of their fine drinks, chocolates, they're making all their pastries, and they also sell grocery supplies. So tonight's theme is called Time Keeps Traveling On. So please enjoy the storytellers tonight. Patty Christensen telling in tandem with James Nelson Lucas. We have Mindy Donner, Marilyn McPhee, and me, Jim Dieckmann. Physicists and philosophers can argue about the meaning and the origin of time for days on end, but most of them agree that time travels in one direction, the so-called time arrow. Yes, the egg comes before the scrambled egg. Now, Sisyphus, the ancient Greek, fell into a situation where time for him was more of a cycle, a repetitive cycle. He was the successful founder and first king of Corinth, but he suffered from a personality trait that was not that conducive with the Greek ideal. He was, as Homer said in the Iliad, a most cunning man. Zeus became angry with the mortal's cunning and his disdain for the powers of the gods, and he sent Thanatos, the personification of death, to haul Sisyphus off down to the underworld. Well, when Thanatos appeared with the chains and locks, Sisyphus appeared to be very interested in the mechanism. Why, those are very interesting locks that you have there, and they do look very complicated. Are they easy to lock? Oh, yes, Thanatos said. Just look. And he put the manacles on his own wrists and snapped them shut. Sisyphus pocketed the key, and there on earth, no one died for quite some time, as Thanatos was locked up and could not go about his business of collecting souls to return to the underworld. Now, there were people that were upset, particularly Ares, god of war. For you see, they would have great battles, but no one would die. Well, what good was that, to have wars without people dying? And without people dying, nobody was making any sacrifices and offerings to Ares, and he was not happy. So, what did he do? Yes, he decided to haul Sisyphus off to the underworld himself. But Sisyphus, in his cunning way, instructed his wife upon his death to throw his body into the public courtyard and not perform any of the sacrifices or offerings normally that would be done for such a burial. And with that, he followed Ares down into the underground. But when he got there, he went to Persephone, the wife of Hades, and pleaded with her that his body had not been given the proper burial ceremonies, and his wife was greatly amiss, and that he needed to return to chastise her properly. Persephone agreed, allowed to return to earth. Sisyphus had cheated death twice. He refused to return to the underworld for many years, and then in his old age, Hermes, messenger of the gods, dragged Sisyphus down to where he belonged, and Zeus exacted his punishment. According to Homer in the Odyssey, Sisyphus was tasked with pushing a large stone up a hill. With his feet and his hands braced, he pushed and pushed, and when he had reached the top, ready for the stone to topple to the other side, why, it rolled back down the hill to the plain below, where Sisyphus again, covered in sweat and dust choking him, pushed the stone up. And this was his continual punishment. The French existential philosopher and author Albert Camus considered Sisyphus an archetypical absurd hero. Sisyphus displayed a scorn for the gods, a hatred of death, and a passion for life. His punishment is to endure an eternity of hopeless struggle, where time just keeps traveling on. Thank you.